Hey, so I wanted to do a special episode based on just one Supreme Court case, and this is a major case, and this is going to either change special ed or just keep it the same as it always has, and we're not going to make any progress. So I'm going to explain this and hopefully break it down. I found one article that really made a lot of sense to me and took all the different court cases leading up to the Supreme Court and broke it down and kind of used some technical language. So this is the article that I really understood, so I want to share with you so that you can really understand what is at stake and kind of where the trickiness lies in terms of how the Supreme Court decides and how they word what they're going to say, I guess. So once again, I talked about this yesterday in our first episode. Thanks for tuning in. Endrew F. versus the Douglas County School District. Basically, case background, there was a student named Drew. He has autism and ADHD. He went through special ed from pre-K into 4th grade. And then finally, from 4th grade to 5th grade, his IEP didn't really change. And so his parents got a little frustrated because, they weren't seeing progress. And so they had pulled him out. They put him into a private school. And then they are suing the school district for their tuition reimbursement. And their argument is that the school district did not provide a free and appropriate education as prescribed by the IDEA of 1975. Basically some background: free and appropriate education. An IEP is an individualized education plan. It basically sets out the goals for each year and then the plan for their achievement. And right now the Supreme Court says that the plan must be reasonably calculated to enable the child to receive educational benefits. So basically the big question is right now, what exactly does the school district owe to this student, Drew? That is what everybody's wondering. And also, so there's two schools of thought right now. Where the courts have disagreed, there's the 10th Circuit Court said that the educational benefit mandated by the IDEA must be merely more than de minimis. What de minimis means, according to the dictionary, is too trivial or minor to merit consideration. Look, when I read that, I was just so surprised. Educational benefit must be minor, just that much, just maybe not even that much, just slice it up just a little bit. Okay, so I was very surprised by that, but I was happy to read that the 3rd, 5th, and 6th Circuit Courts say that there must be some educational benefit and it must be more than nothing. So according to the family, they believe that the free and appropriate education, or FAPE, means that special ed students should receive equal opportunities in education. And that seems like a no-brainer to me. Why is this a current issue? This shouldn't be an issue that we're fighting for equal opportunities in education. But it's where we are. It's what we're fighting for right now. So the drawbacks to the family's arguments of equal opportunity for special education is funding. Some schools may suffer just to support one student in the district. And so that's where some things get kind of tricky. And when you're thinking about how Supreme Court is going to rule on this, that could have some major impact, not just on, it could really help special education, which would be super great and super awesome. At the same time, it could really bring down everything else, and the whole district to support one student, you have to also think about all the other students. So it's a difficult balance that we're going to have to think about. And a lot of people are supporting the meaningful educational benefit because it allows schools to, okay, yes, we have to provide an education. Yes, this child has to progress, but it also allows them to allocate their funding, more to how they see fit, which can be good and bad. My thoughts on this is a really tough decision. If you sit and think about, watch this video and you're thinking about how the Supreme Court, they could just do this. Well, what about what happens when they do this? And all of the consequences, ramifications of this how the court decides is going to have a huge impact. And one thing that they're going to have to really be careful of is how are they going to word it, because something that, when they say de minimis, that's just so small. Meaningful, what does meaningful mean? Some educational benefit, what exactly does that mean? And then again, another question is, what is considered an adequate education? We have the Common Core, we have standardized tests for typical children, but in terms of special education, each child is different, and some children have more barriers to learning, and every child that's why they have IEPs. It's individualized education plans. And so I think the fact that it's so individualized is going to make it hard for the Supreme Court to really be able to hit the nail on the head and really get this down pat, because there's so much variability and so many different resources that kids need. And unfortunately, I think that a lot of kids suffer from their IEPs and just a lack of knowledge on the parents' part. It's not anybody's fault. Nobody teaches you or is really available for parents to know how the special education system works. It is difficult, especially if you don't speak English as a first language, or it's not a comfortable language for you. That's something that's very difficult. Another thing is that parents sometimes don't have the ability to go in and fight for their children. As much as they want to, they can't go in and fight. And right now, the Endrew F., I don't know their last name, they have the money to go and go to court and litigate and have a lawyer, and a lot of parents don't have that opportunity to do that for their children. So this is a big case. More to come on this. Hopefully we'll have a conversation about this, but think about it. What would you like to see the Supreme Court say about this? How you have any ideas of how you can fix it, or how would you word it? Because me coming back from an ABA and speech background, you have goals. Okay, you have big goals, you have small goals, and if the student isn't progressing, you just break those goals down to smaller, and then they finish that, and they go up and up and up until they can get the whole big goal. So for me, it's kind of like, you just have a set amount of goals, but then you have to think about each kid. What are their goals? What can they achieve? What can they do this? So let me know your thoughts. Comment down below if you have any questions. Always start a discussion on the Facebook page. I'd love to hear from you. But that was just a short video about Endrew F. versus Douglas County School District. So see you tomorrow. We're going to have an interview on myself. You're welcome back. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.